Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Black Excellence in Healthcare, White Coats and Real Talk podcast, the podcast where we highlight our brilliant Black healthcare professionals. And today I have a special guest on the podcast, but I'm going to let her introduce herself to you all.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Dr. Nkem Ezeamama, and I am a board-certified emergency medicine physician out in Tennessee. I'm excited to be here. I'm also the CEO and founder of Pheenyx Capital, which is a private equity real estate investment firm, really helping healthcare professionals build wealth. So I'm excited to kind of bring together or marry medicine and wealth and thinking about how we can do those two really well and thrive. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm happy that you joined, and I'm sure that you can provide a lot of insight, knowledge, and inspiration to our audience. Can you just share like your academic background and your credentials and what led you into the healthcare field?
So I always knew I wanted to do medicine of sorts. I wanted to be in the hospital, and I didn't know what that would translate into. But I loved science, I loved healthcare. And at a young age, well, when I got to college, right, when I was in high school, I kind of understood it a little bit, but I didn't fully understand it. And when I got to college and just being immersed in the sciences, and also I got the opportunity to shadow a fellow Black surgeon in the hospital that I worked at. And so I met him, a funny circumstance, but I met him and I kind of was bold and I said, can I just follow you around and see what you're doing? And his answer was a resounding yes. And so I was able to go to the OR in between classes whenever I could. If I had like a weekend off, I'd go to the OR with him and just to experience that. And I think that helped me see even more the reason why I wanted to do this. And I spent some summers in different immersion programs, learning about medicine, and that just kind of propelled my love. I knew that's definitely something that I wanted to do. And so I worked hard. I took all the classes, I studied, I did my MCAT, and I got into a few schools, but my top school was George Washington University. And that was where I wanted to go. And so I went there. I was excited. After medical school, by my third year, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Again, I started testing everything and I landed in emergency medicine. I I think about it as like controlled chaos, like skating through the ER in the haziness of everything, but just knowing that that's your place. That's where you feel, that's where you're at best, at rest. So that was exciting for me. So I did that. I trained at Carolina's Medical Center in Charlotte. And then after that, the rest is history. And I've been practicing and I have loved every single bit of it, the highs, the lows, the sadness, the joys, the high fives, all of it. It has shaped me into the person I am. For a while, all I knew was medicine, and that has slowly evolved, which I'm grateful for. But but yes, it's who I am today. A big part of it is attributed to medicine.
That's amazing. And I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. That's some amazing experience and journey. I love it. So one of the questions that I ask everybody that come on this podcast, my beautiful Black and brown people, is what does Black excellence mean to you, especially in the healthcare realm?
That's a really good question, right? And the more I've grown in my career, and this is over 10 plus years, right? It's not, it doesn't look like a single dazzling achievement anymore, right? I think Black excellence really is balancing history and then who I am, who I was, who we are, who we were, and then how we practice medicine today, and then even thinking about it in the future. So it's almost, I think about it as like reclaiming a system that maybe sometimes was built for us to be excluded, right? And so that's also, I also think it's closing the trust, and also for me, Black excellence looks like helping others see that this future is possible. And so being a role model, being light, I think that's what it is. And so it's not just, I'm not just participating as a physician, but like I'm owning who I am and I'm shaping it for tomorrow. So the future generation, what that looks like, who we're going to be, who the impact that I'm making on them. I think that that's very important. So I think about Black excellence even as like mentorship and using that as a multiplier, right? I think that's very, very important. Our individual brilliance, me, you, one other person is good. But imagine if we brought that together and then helped the future generation get what we've done. And so I think if I had to kind of sum it up, it's not about being exceptional, right? But it's really about becoming powerful enough so that we can truly make a difference, not just for today, but for tomorrow as well.
I love that. I love that answer. That is amazing. I love it. So do you wear your white coat?
About that. I know what it symbolizes, but I don't wear my white coat. I will wear it to take a picture. I will
Mhm.
wear it, and not because I don't think it's important, but because I work in the emergency room and it's dirty and it's hustle and bustle, and
Mhm.
and also sometimes, right, we meet people at their worst times, and so sometimes that is almost like a barrier. So so as much as we deal with life and death situations every time in the ER, right? Sometimes you just need to meet a human at the other side of the conversation that you're having. So it's a little different, but nothing's stopping me from wearing it. I still think that that white coat symbolizes excellence, right? Symbolizes all the work that we've done and how I show up, right? And so that is almost saying that this is what I've done, right? This is what I've done, but it doesn't limit me to all the other things that I can do in medicine. So as much as I appreciate it and all that it's done, right? I also sometimes understand where I'm meeting people at when they see me at 2 a.m. in the morning in the ER.
I love that. I love that. And I know the ER can get rough. What is something that you wish more people knew about physicians?
So I would say, what's one thing I wish more people knew about physicians? I think sometimes, right, there's this idea that we are perfect, right? That we can do no wrong. And at the end of the day, right, we're just humans. I say we're perfectly imperfect, right? But our goal every day is to save lives and it's to really impact care, right? But we are also flawed. And so sometimes it's bringing the humanity into medicine that we miss a little bit. And sometimes we struggle, right? Because we have an image that we are trying to embody, and I don't think it's bad, right? Because again, right, lives are truly in our hands. But I also think that there's a humanity piece that's missing. And that really came to life, I think, for me and for a lot of my colleagues around COVID.
Mhm.
Because, while everyone was fleeing, right, we were truly at the front lines. And it became real because our lives were at stake, our patients' lives were at stake, right? The idea of what medicine could look like tomorrow was also at stake. So I think the humanity somewhat came back, and I'm hoping that we continue to hold on to that.
I love it. I love it. So, like on your hardest days, because I know y'all physicians be having some hard, tough days. On your hardest days, what is like your why? Like what like fuels you? What keeps you going? Even when you're tired, exhausted, or just, had some rough patches, like what is your why? What keeps you going?
I think it's a privilege to get to do what I do. Like,
Mhm.
and I think that there's no day that I'm not reminded of that. I'll give you a story and I'll generalize it because it's a patient experience. And I encountered a patient who in the hustle and bustle of in the ER and the craziness and the no beds and seeing patients in the waiting room and all the things, right? She paused and said, I didn't see anyone on your team smile. And she said, I know it's hard, right? But she said, you have to realize that you are meeting us on probably the worst days of our lives. And she goes, so I know it's difficult to walk in and out of rooms, right? But make sure that your team is present. And she told me that because she said, I was the leader of the team. And sometimes you don't know what the rest of your team is doing, because you just walk into a room, you do your part and you leave, right? But them patient's family, they get to encounter me, they get to encounter the nurse, they get to encounter registration, they get to encounter the tech, they get to encounter the phlebotomist who's drawing their blood, like they get to encounter everyone, right? And so she was just bringing to life, the idea of how every person should treat us as humans, because truly we meet them, especially in the ER, we meet them at the worst days of their lives. And so I think for me, right, I have come to really appreciate that this is truly a privilege. A lot of people want to get on this medical journey and they don't get to do it, right? And so I realize that I truly am impacting lives, right? Whether it's giving a hug to a family member who just lost their family member, right? And just saying it's going to be okay, right? Or whether it's, high-fiving a dad who had just delivered his baby in the ER, right? It spans the gamut. Or like playing with a little kid who, has a small fever. And at the end, when we break the fever, they're eating a popsicle and they're jumping around, right? It's all of it. It's all of it. And so I'm grateful because at the end of the day, I'll start with how I stop, which is it's a privilege to do what we do. It's a privilege to really make a difference. And honestly, I think about, and I've had this conversation, right? Because my career in medicine has changed a little bit, but I think that if I still had to do it again, I would, I would be a physician, because it is a privilege that only a small handful of us have. And it's something that should never be taken lightly.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what is one barrier that you feel like you had to break through on your journey?
For me, it was probably the mentorship. And that's something that I try really hard to help. So I have, students who shadow me in the ER to get that experience, right? So there's some people who the journey was a little bit easier. So every step of the way, they knew what to do, when to do, how to do it. You need 3 volunteer experiences. You need to do this well in school. These are the schools you need to apply. This is where the money's coming from, right? For some, the path is laid out very clearly, and for others, it's not. And so my heart is sought to somehow level the playing field, especially as we start thinking about who is getting into medicine.
I love that. I love that. So speaking of mentorship and speaking on what you just spoke about, what is like some advice that you would give like the future generation or somebody that want to get on the path of becoming a physician?
Oh, that's really good. So I would say that this journey, right? I would say, and I just had this conversation with a young woman who's thinking about going into medicine, right? And so I would say this, right? The journey is it's long. The journey is very arduous. It's years of time, dedication, effort, missing out on parts of life that you maybe didn't want to, right? But I would say that the end result, right? And I'll say this before I say that medicine has changed drastically in the last 10, 15, 20 years, right? I would say don't let a system like the definition of success really become the ceiling to your imagination and what you can do in medicine. And so even if it's difficult, right? Medicine is like almost like I think about it as a palette, right? You can filled with multiple paint colors and you can do with it what you want, right? The sky or past the sky is your limit, right? So you make of it what you want, but you have to get through it, right? The road again is long, the journey is hard, but at the end of the day, right? It's a beautiful journey that what comes out of it is something very beautiful in that one, you get to impact lives. You get to impact lives on a large scale. And two, you get to build something, you get to build a career and you get to build a life around truly making a difference in the lives of others. And so I would say, like, if I had to say, what is the one thing, right? I'd say, keep going. And I would say, don't limit your imagination of what medicine can look like for you as you build that out. The journey is long, the journey is hard, but at the end of the day, it is worthwhile.
Yes, yes, yes. So on the White Coats and Real Talk podcast, I have a special segment called White Coat Confessions. So this is where the audience gets to know you a little better,
Okay.
where you share like a personal truth or a lesson learned or a surprising aha moment or untold story, something that people that's not close to you wouldn't know about you. They kind of just shape you into the woman you are today.
Ooh. Ooh.
Think about it. No.
Wait. Okay. Say it again. Tell me again. Tell me it while I think of something.
So share whether it's a personal or it could be professional truth,
Okay.
maybe something that happened along your journey, a lesson that you learned from, or like a surprising moment that was kind of like an aha moment, something happened that really shaped you into the woman you are today. Or maybe a story that you haven't even told nobody.
I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this. Okay. So this is for the woman or man out there listening. And as much as I have loved medicine, right? And medicine has shaped a large part of who I am and who you're seeing in front of you. I think to some degree I limited my big life to being Dr. Nkem. And as much as that was wonderful, right? I realized that this is the epiphany I realized a few years ago, and I loved it, is that medicine is truly the door to everything else that I wanted to do, that I dreamt of doing, that I thought about doing in this big life, right? And so for me, it became Dr. Nkem and all these other things, right? Whatever that looked like, I could add that to who I am. And so I almost felt like I used medicine as a stepping stone to this big life that we get to live. And it's one big, precious, beautiful life, right? And I think that probably came to me again around COVID because I saw the fragility of life and I saw how quickly life came and went, right? And I said, even though I love medicine, right? Who am I outside of the white coat? Who am I outside of the walls of the emergency department? Who am I when I drive my car at 2 a.m. in the morning or at 6 a.m. in the morning when I'm heading home or whatever it is, or midnight when I'm leaving or whatever the time is, right? But who am I when I walk out of that hospital, right? And I realized that it had to be more than just Dr. Nkem. And so that was the epiphany that I came to. And since then, I think it has just catapulted the life that I have been able to live and build. And I'm very, very proud of that.
I absolutely love that. Which brings me to my next question that you just that just sparked to me is who are you? Because a lot of times when you ask people, who are you? They tend to say, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse, they go into their career and what they do and not actually state who they are as a person. So that brings me to my question to you. Who are you? Outside of being a physician, who are
That's
you?
a good question. So I am a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm an investor, I'm a traveler, I'm a child of God, I am all things. I'm a runner. I love great food. I love to experience life to the fullest, right? I'm all these things. I'm no longer one person. Yes, I'm a physician and I'm proud of that and I'm proud of who I've become. But I've given myself the space to realize that I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a dreamer and I'm a builder. And all of those things have come out of the fact that I have embraced fully who I am in medicine. And so, again, I said it before, right? It's Dr. Nkem and all these other things. And it's not just Dr. Nkem. So that's who I am. Like all those things embody who you're staring at, who you're chatting with, who you're listening to. All of that embody who I am now. And I'm very, very proud of it.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And the audience that's listening, I want you all to ask yourself, who am I? Ask yourself, who am I? Without stating your career and things like that. Who are you as an individual? So now it's time for my favorite part
Okay.
of the show, the White Coat Power Moves Rapid Fire. So I'm going to ask you a few quick questions.
Okay.
And you just got to answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay, you ready? This is so the audience could get to know you a little bit
Okay.
better. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, is it coffee or tea?
Oh, it's coffee every day. Every day. Every day. Twice a day.
Is it steak or seafood?
Seafood. I'm a pescatarian.
Okay, okay. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Oh, neither.
Or both?
Neither. I'm just middle of the day. As long as I get my work done, I wake up late. Maybe on some days I sleep early, but I get the job done.
Okay. So, are you more into books or podcasts?
Oh, I love books. Love books.
Okay. So, are you beach vacation or mountain getaway?
Mountain getaway.
Okay. I love that. Okay. Netflix binge or the movie theaters?
Netflix. I'm a homebody.
Okay. Breakfast for dinner or dinner for breakfast?
Breakfast for dinner.
You got an iPhone or Android?
Oh, if you don't light up blue on my phone, like something is wrong with you. And the blue people know themselves. We know ourselves. Like if you're like green on my phone, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, where are you? Like my whole life is I'm part of the Apple family. There's no question. Like, why aren't you? It's the question.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And people get so tickled when I ask them that. So, since you in the ER physician, so is it the white coat or the scrubs?
Oh, it's the scrubs every day. Scrubs every day. Every single day.
Is it heels or sneakers?
Oh, sneakers. You have to be on my feet for 10 hours. No, it's comfy sneakers. Very comfy.
You prefer text or a phone call?
I'm a texter.
You're a texter. You don't
I'm
like to
a
talk.
texter.
You talk
I'm
to
I'm
enough
doing better. I'm doing better now with the phone, but I'm of the generation. I have full conversations. Like, how are you doing? Enter. Are you coming? Enter. Like all the one word texting. That's me. You see like 15 texts and you realize I could have written this in one long text. But yes, I'm a texter.
So, if you had a superpower, would it be to read minds or heal every disease?
Oh, I don't know. Read minds. I don't know. Maybe I'll say something everyone at that one. I don't know either. Neither. Read minds.
Okay. If you wasn't in the healthcare field, what would you be doing?
I'd be okay. That's the question is different now, right? Because I really enjoy what I did, what I've done, and with the company I've built, and how I help healthcare professionals outside of medicine. But if not, I'd be a chef.
Oh, you love to cook.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. So it's more home cooked meals than eating out.
Oh yes, I'm definitely more home cooked meals. That's a fun Friday night for me.
Okay. So the last one, legacy or luxury?
Oh, it's all about legacy. Like it's and when you do legacy well, you can add luxury into it. So it's definitely legacy for me.
Yes. Okay. So let's dabble back into how you help healthcare professionals. We want to know more about that.
Okay. So a quick story or how I unfolded into this. Around COVID again, right? We got bought over by, or we just kept getting bought over by multiple healthcare, private equity groups. And with every turn, it would be some people would get fired, our hours would get cut, nothing, right? How we practice medicine continued to evolve and change. And I realized one day that I was relying on said company, said group for my entire, like just everything about my livelihood. I was relying on these people, right? And I
Okay.
thought, I can't do that anymore. I spent 10 plus years getting trained to be this doctor, right? I can't rely on one person that tomorrow they tell me you're done here or we've slashed your hours, whatever the contract says. I thought, again, right? This life has to be more than that. And so I started looking for ways to invest. I just did it. I was just really excited to learn about it and just to give me options. And I stumbled. literally stumbled upon real estate. And I always knew that, real estate, when you think about the, the like wealthiest of the wealthiest, right? That money is steeped in land and is steeped in real estate. And the truth is, no matter what, right? We people, we need a place to live, right? A basic human need is housing. And so I decided to invest in an apartment complex. And I learned very quickly from there that like I was making more money from that than in like my savings account and high yield savings, like all these things, right? I realized that those returns were so much more. And I was wondering, why aren't there a lot of us who know about this, right? And so I started on this path to educate people who look like me about opportunities outside of medicine. What I did not realize was that my pain point and my struggle was the same as multiple other healthcare professionals, physicians, like dentists, nurse practitioners, all of them. We were struggling with the same thing, which is how can we think about wealth creation outside of medicine? You're going to do well in medicine, right? But you're not going to be like, you're going to, that wellness that you're going to get, right? That building, that money you're making is directly equated to your time. And I thought, what would it look like if we took all our residual extra income and we put it into property? And that's how Pheenyx Capital was built. We started buying apartment complexes in the Southeast, and really 85, 90% of our core investors are all people like you and me, doctors, healthcare professionals who are looking for ways to build wealth and to build legacy, and thinking about how we can implement real estate into our portfolios. And I want to say that it's been a wonderful, successful journey for the last about Pheenyx is about to be 4. And so that has been a wonderful journey building that out. And really, yes, I get the best of both worlds. I get to touch lives inside the hospital. And then on the outside, I really get to touch lives with our people who I've been in the trenches with, healthcare professionals, and we're figuring out how can we build wealth together? What's the next apartment complex? So like when you drive by, right? When you look at a 200 unit complex, right? Before it just looked like, oh, somebody somewhere owns that, right? Now the story is that you and I own it. And there's such a beauty in that. And that has been a wonderful transition to the continuation of my medical journey.
I love it. I love it. So, is there a way that like people can contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you're interested, I'm on every social media platform. If you type in my name, you'll find me. I'm big on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has been one of the biggest places that I've met other healthcare professionals who are on the same path of thinking about, what else do I do outside of my 9 to 5? What else am I building? What can I do? What does an investment for the future look like? How can I still love medicine and still think about my family's future, my next generation? So that has been wonderful. But you can find me pretty much if you look me up, you'll find me. But we have a website, and I can send all of this to you and you can add it. But we have a
Yeah,
website and email. But yes, if you want it, if you're on social media, you can definitely find me.
I need to book a call, huh? I need to book a call. So most definitely, I will have all of her information readily available for those of you that's interested in, learning more how to build wealth outside of your healthcare profession. So, what's next for you? Like, you got any upcoming projects, any
So
ventures you got going on or anything?
we are. So what are we doing right now? We are looking for our next. We just closed a little over $30 million project in February, and so we're looking for our next one. So we don't have any new projects on the horizon, but we're constantly engaging with our team, our brokerage teams, to find us the next deal, the next project that we're gonna be able to undertake. So nothing in the works, but I bet you by the time this is released, we'll have another project under contract, and excited again to partner with other healthcare professionals, really to think about what else? What are we building? What does legacy look like? What does wealth creation look like outside of medicine?
I love it. I love it. So, what is one thing before we wrap up that you want to leave the audience with?
So I would say this, and it's something that has been resonating with me a lot lately, and it's the word consistency. When we look at the people who have changed the world in medicine, outside of medicine, It wasn't done overnight, right? The Chinese bamboo tree analogy, where you planted it and nothing sprouted for 5 years, and then in less than 5 weeks, it's touching the sky, right? It's that consistency of watering, of showing up, of building reps, of doing that thing, the mundane every day. Like growth and success is in the everyday grindy work. It's not sometimes in the shiny successes. And so the one thing I want to leave with you, whatever phase you're in, is that you have to keep going, right? It's not, and you're not, you haven't lost, right? It's just, you just need to keep going. That analogy of 3 feet from gold, right? And it just really is just every day showing up and chiseling at whatever it is that you're doing. So whether you're trying to get into med school, whether you're trying to finish residency, whether you're about to start your first job, whether you're building a side gig outside of medicine, whatever it is, right? You just realize that it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take patience. It's going to take consistency, but it takes you showing up every single day to get that thing done.
I love it. That is some amazing advice. Consistency. Yeah. Consistency is very important. Very important. So it was a pleasure, an absolute pleasure having you on the White Coats and Real Talk podcast. I'm sure the audience loved everything that you've brought. I know they found this inspiring because I did. Very inspiring, very knowledgeable, and what she does outside of saving lives, it's amazing. It's amazing to see, and to see people that look like us, what's possible, and to see that you can do all the things that your heart desires, and you don't have to be boxed in and just doing one thing, or what you set your self out to just go to school and be that physician. Now you doing a multitude of things, amazing things, and it just really shows that you can do whatever you put your mind to. And you can do whatever your heart desires. And you don't have to be boxed in, and you can live outside the box. And again, ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? But until the next episode, make sure that you follow me on all social media platforms. Dr._Angel White. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see the video version, all of my podcast episodes, and also make you subscribe to the Alive Podcast Network, which is an all Black podcast platform. And also, I have 2 books on Amazon too. Tap into that and check those out too as well. So until next time, stay blessed.